I want to go over the contour function in Design Space, what it can do, what it can't do, and why you might want to use it. Contour is probably one of my favorite tools of all of the options I have in Design Space, mostly because it's sort of like a giant eraser, but it can do so much more than just erase. So let's get started. Alright, so let's say, for example, we have this word up here, contour, and it's green. We can change the color, we can make it purple, or we can make it orange or green. We can make it any color we want. But what if we wanted these letters to be different colors, like green, yellow, orange, purple, or whatever choices you wanted? Well, if you click on the word and you go down here to contour, you'll see that right now contour is not an option. That's because this is just text. It just sees it as different letters, like each one is its own image, so we can't contour it. But if we select it and go down to combine and then weld it, that turns it into a singular image. None of the pieces come apart. It can't be ungrouped anymore. Nothing can be done with it. But we can contour it. And in contour, we can turn off certain letters or turn on certain letters, right? So let's move these out of the way. We have 7 letters here. So let's make 7 duplicates. Now we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on each one of these, we're going to contour them. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to hide all contours. That gets rid of everything except for one letter. You always have to have one thing selected. It won't turn absolutely everything off. So in this one, I want to do the R. So we're going to turn off, well, right after I find the R. Okay, there's the R. We're going to keep the R, but we're going to turn off the O. And then we also need this little center here. And then close it. Okay, now we just have a letter R. Okay, let's say we want that one to be purple. Okay, now let's go to the next one. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to hide all contours, only this time we want to keep that U. Whoops, we missed something. Missed that. Okay, so now let's say I want this U to be, let's go with yellow. Okay, now let's go with this one. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to hide all contours. In this case, I actually want this O. So I'm going to unselect this one, and I'm going to make sure I've got both pieces of that O selected. And if you make a mistake, it's not a problem because it's going to show on your desktop, and you can go click contour again and fix it if you've made a mistake. Okay, let's say we want to leave that one the color it already is. Let's get some of these others out of our way. Okay, now let's go with this one. We want just the letter T. So we're going to hide all contours. We're going to select that T and get rid of the original part that was selected. So you can see just how fun this can be to change something up and make it exactly what you want. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. Hide everything. Oops. But keep that in. And let's say we want this to be red. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to hide all contours. This time we actually want this O, so we're going to leave it. Whoops, see, we made a mistake. We forgot to reselect the center of this O so that it cuts out. Oops. Okay, now you have your O. Now let's make that blue. Okay, now we're going to do the last letter. We're going to hide all contours, select the C, and get rid of this. Oops, get rid of this and this. Okay, now we have the C. And let's say we want to make it, let's go with orange. Okay, but now your word's all crooked, right? So here's where you would go in and maybe select your first letter and your last letter. It doesn't really matter if these are perfect. Now select the whole entire thing. And we're going to go to align, and we're going to tell it to align top. You could have selected bottom if you wanted. It doesn't really matter. But your letters aren't spaced properly, right? So now we're going to go down to align, and distribute horizontally. Now it's spaced them apart. Now, because of the way Design Space works, each one of these letters has a bounding box. You see this little box around the letter? That tells Design Space how big that letter is. Well, in some cases, like the T, it's perfect because it goes to the ends. But on the O, you've got all this space up here in the corner, so it looks like that T is really far away from that O. Well, we can use the arrow keys on our keyboard, and we can just scoot it over a little bit so it looks more in line. And then just move, oops, go the other way, move your other two letters over. Okay, now in order to keep this word together so we can move it or resize it or maybe attach it to something else, keep in mind if you attach, it makes everything the same color, so don't attach. You want to go up here to the top and click on Group. Now that'll at least keep it together. Now, of course, when we hit Make It, it's going to put each of those letters on a different mat because each one of those letters is a different color. Here's your N, your C. You can see how this works. Okay. Now, let's go back to the desktop. Okay, so we're done playing with this word for now. All right, now, how about an image like this? You've got the mama background, which is this piece right here, and then you've got the words. Well, let's ungroup that, because it's grouped. You can tell that by the fact that it moves around. So we go up here to the top and click Ungroup. Okay, now everything is in a different piece. But this is all still connected, right? Okay, well, maybe we want mama to be in one color, and then this line down here to be in a different color. Okay, well, we can fix that again with Contour. But we need to duplicate it because we want two pieces, right? So you duplicate it. Then you go down to Contour and you pick what you want to take out. In this case, the easiest thing to do is to get rid of the word on the top. Okay, now we just have the bottom word. Now on this one, we're going to have to do the exact opposite. We're going to have to get rid of all of this stuff on the bottom. The easiest way in this case is to hide all contours and then come back and just reselect your items for the top word. Now we have two separate words that we can bring back the way they were, and then we can change the color. Maybe we want this one to be more of a purple. And then how about this one, maybe a yellow. See how easy that was? Now we've got our words and we've got both sentences, but we have different colors. And we do the same thing we did with the word up here, Contour, and we change it, we tell it to group. That way it keeps it all together. Pretty cool, right? Now here's another item. So you have this little octopus type creature, right? And he's got several different colors, but maybe you don't like those colors. Maybe you want to change these up. Well, you can go over here and you can select certain colors and you can just change them. Like these two little feet, I could make them, let's make them darker. And then I could select these 2 feet, which is this one and this one that are purple, and I could change them to white if I want. So it's easy enough to change colors when you've got an image that's split apart like this. You don't really need contour. But maybe I want all of these legs to be entirely different colors. I don't want 2 of them to be the same. Okay, so the same scenario applies. You duplicate, and then on each one, you use contour to hide a different piece. So on that one, whoops. On the first one, we hid the small piece. So now on the second one, we're going to hide the big piece. There you go. Now he's in 2 separate pieces. So I can make one of these a different color altogether. Like maybe green or pink. So you can see how you can use contour to change up an already designed image to make things different colors, even if some of the pieces are attached. Now again, I would want to group this so that our pieces don't come apart if we try to move it out of the way. Oops, I missed one. Let's try again. I'm going to have to ungroup it and then regroup it because part of it selected. Okay? There we go. Now we got them all. Okay, now I hear a lot of people say, well, I tried to use contour, but my image wouldn't contour the way I wanted it to. Let's take this flower, for example. You've got a stem here, and then you've got the two flowers, and you've got the leaves. Well, let's say you wanted these leaves and the stem green, but you wanted to make the flowers something else. Well, the reason contour won't work for you in this case, if you select contour, you'll see what I mean and how it's selected. This whole outside outline is all one piece. So if we try to select that, the whole thing disappears. This is a prime example of an item that you would not want to use contour to try to make different colors. And then here's another example where contour is probably not your best option either. Let's say you wanted to make the insides of these little ears pink. Well, you would think that would be easy because you can just go turn parts of the image off and you can change the color and duplicate, right? Well, here's the problem with that. On this ear over here, the outline and the inside of the ear are all connected. So if we turn this off, we lose the whole entire ear. There's no way to just select this center piece. We could do it on this side, but not on this one. Again, not a great example for an item to be contoured. And another thing you can't contour is something that is already flat, like your print and cut images. There is nothing to contour because there's no extra lines. There's no gaps like there are in this flower or in these words. Contour won't even highlight for you on an image that is flat. But now let's look at something that's a little bit more fun. Let's take some of these things out of the way. All right, let's take this butterfly. It's pretty basic, it's just an outline. It's just black. But let's say we wanted to do all of these little inside pieces too, but we want to do them in different colors. Okay, let's do what we've done before. Let's duplicate. I don't know how many of these we actually need. I'm just going to grab a bunch and we can always make more. Let's leave this first one alone. We're going to stick it up here and try not to even bother it. Now let's take this one. Let's go contour. Okay, we're going to turn off the outline. Now you can see, looking behind this box, that you've got all of these little shapes right here. Okay, well let's say all we want to change right now, whoops, I clicked that, is just the big oval sections. So we go in and we click everything else off until we just have those four. Okay, now we just have those four. Okay, let's see, that's near his body, so let's go with something kind of dark there, okay? And now we can put this in place. Okay, now let's work on the next one. Okay, we know we did these four pieces already, so we're going to go ahead and go turn those off because we don't want to repeat that, right? Let's say we want to do these four, so let's go get rid of all of these other pieces. And you could do one piece. You could do 4 pieces, you could do 8 pieces, you could do one whole side if you want. It's entirely up to you. Okay, I think I have, nope. I can see, you can see that there's 2 areas up here that are still dark, so they're still selected. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we have this piece. Let's go with something really light. Let's go with this yellow. And then you can click on advanced and you can drag this little dot around and change that color even more if you want. You can get it to just about any custom color you can even imagine. Okay, now let's put those pieces in place. All right, let's grab another one. Okay, so now we know we've got all the center stuff. So now maybe we only want these 2 dots at the top. So let's turn everything else off. And of course, with more detailed images, this is going to be a lot more time consuming. Whoops, and we turn the outside back on. Okay, we're left with just those 2 dots. Let's make those this really pretty blue. Okay, and then we will put them back. Now obviously we have a lot more to do, so we're going to need to duplicate this butterfly a few more times. I'm going to scoot these out of the way. Alright, now we're going to contour again. And let's see, let's go with these two pieces down here. So let's take all of these others. Actually, let's leave those. Okay, do I have them all? I think so. Whoops. I have the exact opposite of what I wanted. There we go. Okay, now undo. Let's bring this up and let's make these. Let's go with pink. I don't really like this pink though, so I'm going to kind of drag it around until I get a color that appeals to me a bit more. Actually, let's drag this bar all the way over here to the purple area. There we go. I like that pink. Okay, and then we're going to take this one and put it in its spot. Alright, let's grab another one. Let's see, what do we have left here? Alright, let's go. We know we don't need these because we already did all of them. And we know we don't need these dots because we also already did those. And we know we did these, and we did these two. So that leaves us with those. Which ones do we want to do? Let's go with the ones right above and right below. I'll turn everything else off. Okay. Now let's make these. Let's go with orange. Alright, now let's grab another one. Now we only have 4 spaces left to work with. And for time's sake, I think I'm just going to make all 4 of these last ones go together. Okay. And if you make a mistake, don't worry. You can always go back in and fix it. Did I get them? Nope, didn't get them all. Okay, now let's pick a color for these. We want something different. Let's go with lilac. There you go. Now you can just get rid of all your extras and you're good to go. And same thing, I would group this just so I can move it around. But when you go to cut this, let's click make. It's going to put all your pieces on a different mat. You'll have one in black because that's your outline piece. And then you'll have all of these other colors. Well, of course, in these letters too, because, you know, we had those set up as well. So that is why Contour is amazing. Play with it. Play with your images. Have fun and see all the different things that Contour can do for you.